everybody, what's up? Today in this video, I would like to share my thoughts about the stock market in Korea right now. Actually, my wife and me has a kind of very opposite viewpoint about the stock investment things. And then my wife, about 1.5 years ago, she suggested some investment on Korean stock market. And then at that time, she was suggesting put some money in either Samsung Electronics or SK Hynix. My wife, in investment wise, she's very conservative, and honestly, until that time, she suggests some stock investment in Korea, right? I never heard anything about some kind of investment, especially in stock trading things, right? From my wife before. And then at that time, our the stock the trend was very beginning of the rising trend, and then it was really very bottom stage. It was almost like that time it was only like 2,300 or so, right? That averaging. Until that time, I didn't think about much about investment in stock market, right? And then I was not very confident about that kind of investment, especially stock trading things, because personally, I had a very bad experience, bad memory about stock investment myself. I did stock trading like more than 20 years ago. And then at the beginning of my investment, of course, I was very confident about myself. And then, like, I also overestimated like my capacity, right, to catch up all the market trend and information things. And then for some times, I just haggling around the stock trading, up and down, something like that, right? And like, so finally, my investment, you know, when dwindled, and gradually, like, it drained all of my account. And finally, I was completely like, my money, my investment was completely drained out. And then I just tapped out that time, and I just gave up. And after that experience, I never looked back about the stock trading things up to now. Before my wife suggests the investment, and that kind of resolution to myself, I wouldn't touch any stock trading thing, no matter how it looks promising and how it looks fantastic for the future. And then when my wife suggests some investment newly to this Korean market, and somehow I also agreed, and the Korean government at the time implied a lot of like something developing some policies and lessen the regulation about the stock market to try to boost up. I also agree that the stock market will be growing much better, but I wasn't confident whether I myself can control about my mentality to deal with that stock trading things. And I told my wife, I agree with you for the growing the stock price, which you point out, those price, maybe it will go up sometimes. I don't know how much, but one thing for sure is it's not about the price thing. It's about our own mentality or our own capacity to deal with the changes up and down, that kind of thing. I'm not very confident about myself to cope with all the temptation and then stress to buy and sell, that kind of things. And when to buy, when to sell, I don't know. I'm not confident. And the thing, I never have clear pictures what is going on behind the curtain for the stock price. There are so many hidden factors to compose or to make price of the stock market, and the thing we cannot control. And then most important thing is we don't have upper hand to see the market clearly. There's no way we have any upper hand. And then the lack of information, all these kind of things, it will eventually lead us to the drain of our fund at the end of the day. That was my task. After that, somehow we came to the conclusion we wouldn't go for the investment on stock market. And then what happened was as you know what happened in Korean stock market during like last 1.5 years time, right? It really took off and completely up to like 9,000, which is historically Korean stock market never reached in whole history of Korean stock. And it was almost 3 times, 4 times higher. And it happened during the last year, like 1 year time period, like something like that. Right? And then you also know what happened last 1 month's time, okay? Just plummeting down to the like almost, you know, 50% level, right? From the highest point. Now a lot of Korean experiencing those skyrocketing and then plummeting up and down like such a roller coasting of the price. Right? I don't believe it is the sound investment at all. It's just gambling. It's kind of it's simple. It's literally just gambling, and then we are in the casino, not long-term based, some sort of sound investment things. I don't believe any kind of so-called investment based on such a roller costing things. It doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't get you anywhere, but only drain your funds and make you tap out of the market. Fortunately, I'm not the victim of the Korean stock market. Later it happened because we didn't get into the market, so we just stayed away from the market situation. And then finally, what happened was just yesterday, it went up just to the limit once again. And then it happened yesterday. And then I cannot understand, how can it happen that way? We are not talking about a small company, some small stock. We are talking about the major two company in whole Korean stock market. I can't understand how is it how it's possible to happen that way and protect myself. I just want to stick to my principle. I don't get to where I never understand. I'm very wonder when I can have that level of confidence and knowledge, especially stock trading things. I just put it away as just the noise, only noise that just disturb my peace and quiet. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.